Welcome to Tech Talks. Our security edition today is focused on securing DevSecOps. Tech Talks is a series of short webinars that are deep dives for technical practitioners. We value you, our customer, and want you to continue in your Splunk journey. Our experts help create these best practices, and we want you to leverage them in your daily role. I'm Lou Stella, a senior threat research engineer, and I'm excited to share with you information about our DevSecOps work. Today, we're going to talk about what DevSecOps is, how does Splunk fit in, a brief demo of our detections, and then we will cover additional resources available to help you take advantage of security capabilities in Splunk. If you have questions, please continue the conversation through the Tech Talk discussions in the Splunk community at splunk.com/techtalk. So what is DevSecOps? It's important to clarify that DevSecOps is a practice. It's a series of behaviors that an organization practices in order to achieve an outcome. There's no single vendor DevSecOps solution. It typically compromises several distinct technologies across multiple phases of the DevSecOps lifecycle. These phases are depicted here in this image, starting with planning, and then after that, your organization starts to code and then build, test, release, deploy, then operate, and then continuous monitoring. You'll see that monitoring feeds right into planning, emphasizing the continuous delivery mechanisms present in DevOps. It's important for you to best fit DevSecOps to your organization. Much like ITIL or Agile, it's perfectly acceptable for you to take the pieces from DevSecOps that fit your organization and leave the rest behind. So how do we solve this using Splunk? The Splunk Security Threat Research team built an environment similar to many applications deployed by our customers, leveraging tools such as Google Drive, GitHub, SemGrep, CircleCI, the AWS Elastic Container Registry, and Kubernetes. However, there's no data model to accurately represent this data normalized across these several data sets. So what did we do next? The DevSecOps Analytics Story, available today in Enterprise Security Content Update and the Splunk Security Essentials app, leverages technology-specific detections. We have confidence that with minimal work, any of these detections can be ported over to the technology stack of your organization. And now, time for a demo of these detections, as well as, for the very first time, a Splunk SOAR playbook created specifically for one of the detections within this analytic story. We'll start today's demo in Splunk Enterprise Security. If we go to the use case library, you'll find all of the analytic stories prepared by the Splunk Security Threat Research team. If we go to the DevSecOps story, you'll find a description, narrative, reference material for further reading, as well as all of the detections contained within the analytic story. Within each detection, you'll find a description, an explanation, the raw search, how to implement it, as well as a list of any known false positives. As mentioned previously, this search, as well as all of the searches within the DevSecOps Analytics story, do not leverage data models. Currently, all of these searches leverage technology-specific logs until such a time that data models that accurately encompass and normalize this data are present. I fired off a number of these detections based upon the demo data. Let's pivot to the incident review panel and see what fired. Here, we'll find 38 notables across many of the different detections within the story. These leverage logs from GitHub, CircleCI, the AWS Elastic Container Registry, G Suite, Kubernetes, as well as 2 correlation rules by user and risk, as well as repository and risk. Finally, you'll also see that a 24-hour risk threshold was exceeded for one of the users within our demo environment. Let's dive further into one of these notables. The G Suite drive share and external email notable fired in our demo environment. If we read the description, we'll see this search is to detect suspicious Google Drive or Google Docs files shared from outside of your organization. This behavior might be a good hunting query to monitor exfiltration of data made by an attacker or insider, or, depending upon your environment, you may be able to leverage this as a regular detection. If we look further, we'll see that an adaptive response action, send to phantom, fired successfully on this notable. Let's take a look in Splunk SOAR and see what else happened there. Here in Splunk SOAR, we'll see that an event has been created with the same name as the notable. Let's open that event and see what happened. Now that we've opened the event, you can see that a playbook ran against this event. One of the first things it did was perform an IP lookup against gray noise for the sender IP of the email in question. Here, we can see that gray noise has seen this, and it also gives us a link to pivot off to gray noise and look further. Next, get file from G drive ran. This action connected to the Google Drive API and downloaded a copy of the file to the file vault. Next, you see a virus total lookup ran. This performed a file reputation lookup based upon the hash of the file that was downloaded from Google Drive. We can see here it was detected. If this file was not found, this playbook prompts an administrator in your Splunk SOAR environment as to whether or not the file should be uploaded to VirusTotal. Be careful, though. All files uploaded to VirusTotal are publicly available and can be downloaded by users outside of your organization. Additionally, you'll see a Splunk query was run against the Splunk server within this environment. It was looking for additional users that may have received this external email with a Google Drive link. We could see here there was another user that received this. This playbook should be available soon. Today, all of the detections within the DevSecOps analytics story are available. You can find them in the Splunk Enterprise Security Content Update app or in Splunk Security Essentials. Now that I've walked you through the demo, I wanted to quickly share the resources available to you. First, the Splunk Security Content Updates repo. This is available on GitHub and is where the Splunk Security Threat Research team performs all of its detection development work. Second, the Securing DevSecOps blog, which dives into further detail about how we built this demo environment and the detections contained within the analytic story for securing DevSecOps. And third, the Splunk community Slack, which is a great resource full of other practitioners. And finally, the Splunk Security Threat Research page. Don't forget that we have an incredible community of Splunk users on our community site. You can search the answers section for DevSecOps. You can continue the conversation for this talk within the discussion section called Tech Talks at splunk.com/tech talk, where you will find all the additional resources. And finally, there's Splunk Ideas, where you can submit new product enhancements or vote for current ideas from other customers. Thank you. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedules to join us today. Please tune back in for future Tech Talks. We are excited to share the series with you.